Hello everyone, welcome to Car Spotter Belgium. I am Thibaut and today we have the new Alfa Romeo Tonale. In this video I will tell you everything about this car. We will do a quick walk around, take a look at the inside and later on we'll hop in for a drive. So let's go! So the version we have here today is the Edizione Speciale, which is powered by their newest hybrid engine, a total package of 280 horsepower. It consists of a 1.3 liter turbocharged petrol engine which produces 180 horsepower and 270 Newton meters of torque. On the other side, it has an electric engine which delivers another 122 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. With on the other side, I literally mean on the other side, because the petrol engine is placed in the front and drives the front wheels. The electric engine is in the back and drives the rear wheels. So technically it is a four-wheel drive car. The Speciale is the most extensive version for the Tonale. You get this matte black sports grille, gloss black mirror caps and window frames, black side panels, and in the back also a gloss black diffuser. This diffuser is also exclusively for the Veloce and Speciale package. What is different is that this one got a dual exhaust, so one tip at each side, and yes, they are real. Because in there is a real exhaust tip, so this chrome part is just part of the diffuser, but in there you got a separate exhaust tip, which is of course the real exhaust. And I'm just talking about this because nowadays you don't know what to believe anymore about these diffusers. These versions also have the new Matrix full LED light system, which is recognizable by the three eyes in there. This is of course the new face of Alfa Romeo, but however not all versions do get this design as standard yet. What is also special about the Speciale package is that it gets these 20-inch grey wheels with a red caliper behind it. And it looks like the flies also like the blue Misano color, because they kind of sit everywhere. Let's take a look at the boot. It has a trunk capacity of 500 liters, and of course by folding down the rear seats it can be expanded to 1550 liters. Let's take a look at the interior. So this one has a full black leather interior in combination with some plastic parts which look a bit like an aluminum panel. It has a 10.25-inch display, which is your main infotainment screen. And it is very user-friendly. It looks a bit like a tablet and it also handles like that. So we got a lot of applications here, so separate screens, and it is fully customizable. So you can add some widgets or a complete page just like you would do on a tablet or phone. And let's dive deeper into it. So you also got some standard applications here like media, comfort, navigation, your mobile phone, and then you also got more about your car in specific. So my car, and this is more about maintenance. Then the current trip. Oh, I clicked on something else. So then we have e-hybrid, which is about the electric part and gives more about the state of the battery at the moment. Performance wise, you got a gauge for your turbo pressure, your torque, and also accessory gauges, which is more about the oil temperature and at the current battery voltage. Then we have controls. So this car is equipped with a surround camera system. So on the left you see a 360 view, and then you can also separately change between all the cameras around the car, which is very handy in some situations. So let's go back to home. So here you see the same applications appearing again. So those are the same screens as I just showed you. Behind the steering wheel you have a 12.3-inch instrumentarium, which actually means that it is bigger than the main screen. And there are not that much apps on here or things to look at, and that's a really good thing with Alfa Romeo. It is not that complicated. So you can of course divide the screen into multiple things to watch. So I now selected the complete display to look at the navigation. Then you also have your current consumption and driver assist and some messages. But furthermore, there is nothing too special on this display. But of course, you can also divide it. So now we select navigation on here, and on the right side, you can, for example, look at your tire pressure or the current trip you are driving. And that's actually about it. So it is a very handy screen, but not that complicated. And above us is a panoramic roof, and it opens just by one click. So first is the sun visor, and secondly is the glass roof itself. Sitting in the back of the Tonale, so this passenger seat is placed in my position, and I'm 1.85 meters, so my legs do not have a lot of space, and the same goes for the headroom, so my hair is lightly touching the ceiling. But of course the Tonale is smaller than the Stelvio, but I'm definitely sitting here okay, you know. Overall, the interior of the Tonale just looks very sportive. You got the black leather interior and the parts of the seat that are just perforated leather with the white stitching. It is overall a really nice interior. So the next part in this video is of course taking the Tonale for a drive. So let's start about the drive in the Tonale. So the first thing to talk about is maybe the sportiveness, and just because I've also talked about that in the Stelvio, so I've also driven that recently. If you might be considering buying the Tonale or the Stelvio, you might also watch my review about it by clicking on the right on the pop-out banger. So the Tonale, you might have seen it. This one also has some flippers behind the steering wheel, and I need to say it is quite funny. Of course, let me put them in dynamic. The petrol engine is starting. You switch him to manual, and let me just stand here. I will use the flippers for a moment, but you do not have that much to it. Of course you can shift, and it has a 6-speed automatic gearbox, but there is just no way to control or see a visual representation of the RPM. So I have searched everything. It is just not possible. There is just nothing to watch the RPM. So let's go. So 280 horsepower on all four wheels when you turn it into dynamic, or just floor it in another setting. So the flippers, in my eyes, they are quite useless actually. I do like the design. This is again about the Quadrifoglio, although the Tonale does not have one yet maybe. But it is of course fun to shift manually, but if you can't see the RPM, it is in my eyes just an unusual thing to put it in here. But of course they have done it. It looks cool and sportive, and it is what it is. So I just think we better not call this car very sportive. Of course it looks very sportive, the interior, the exterior, and Alfa Romeo also wants to give you a more sportive driving feeling due to the flippers and driving modes. but it is still a hybrid and just a very relaxing daily drivable car, of course. And also consumption wise, I did a trip of 100 kilometers and it is very, very economic. So that's also the intention about this car. I just wanted to make the comparison between the Stelvio and the Tonale, and we just need to be honest, the Stelvio is much more sportive in driving than the Tonale. But what is this Tonale then all about? So we of course now driving in EV mode, which it does automatically. We are in N, and it has 122 horsepower electric, which is more than enough to drive up to speeds of 125 kilometers an hour. And then he just switch in the petrol engine to give it a little bit more. But you can drive up to 70 kilometers fully electric, and it has a battery capacity of 15.5 kilowatts, which is really good for a hybrid car, because most other competitors do not have such a large battery. But it drives just really, really good. We need to be honest, it is not as sportive, but it is just a really good car. You can also watch the review of the Jeep Renegade e-Hybrid, which was actually my very first test car I drove. So again, on the pop-out banger in the right corner, because I think that's the closest competitor to this Tonale. And just to give you an interesting fact, it is built on the same chassis because it belongs to the same group. I just want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and make sure to take a look at my channel for more awesome car videos and car content. So I just hope to see you next time again. Bye!